Welcome to Poly-Innovator. Today is February 1st of the Now Page Vlog 2021, and it's just one of those things that's so interesting to make. I've been doing this consistently now for many months in a row, and I think I'm the only one out of all the people doing Now Pages to actually do a vlog accompanying the Now Page. And I've also treated each Now Page as a blog post versus just replacing the text every month. And so that way, if I want to go back, I can read it again. But getting into the point here, in personal life, my Notion Life operating system is my main key thing that I've been trying to work on. And the reason why I want to do that for personal growth is to build out the modular degree and also just really systematize PolyInnovator. And I've been trying to combine many great systems into one. And sure, I could just focus on one and kind of get used to it, but I'd rather have the best of all the different worlds. And I feel like I'm so close. I know I said it like 2 months ago too, but I feel like I'm so close to having a really intricate system, taking the best of each of these, like Zettelkasten, for example. And so that's the only really personal endeavor I'm doing, but in actuality, it's mainly motivating me for my personal brand, so I can actually do more with PolyInnovator. And then in general, too, the idea of the professional update doesn't really make any difference because for me, PolyInnovator is both my personal and professional life. And so I guess I just don't have a life. All the things I'm doing lately have been revamping my old blog posts. So I said I had around 180 to revamp. As it turns out, it was more about 160, and 20 of those were the last 20 of the 180 were just ideas. So I had a whole bunch of posts that were just basically notes saying this is what you should write about. And then I had a few duplicates as well. And so for the past month, essentially just daily, day in, day out, I've been writing thousands of words, or at least 1,000 words a day, to update these old posts, adding context, maybe adding little notes saying like, hey, this is my thought process at this time. Now, some of these posts are a few years old, if not, some of them were from the ULC, which came out back in like 2012, which I revamped in like 2016, 2017, and then I revamped again. So they're actually, some of them are really old, but regardless, they still have value, they still are interesting, and I try to expand upon them if I need to. And then there's like some of those ideas that I had. Like one of them was the PolyInnovator in the future, particularly creating a Type 1 civilization. So that's going to be the first PolyPro post, where it's going to be a long form post that has just a dense packed amount of information. So that way when you sign up for the subscription, there's a backlog of really awesome long form posts that you can read. And I think that's really interesting too. You can come back and read it again if you need to, or like take different chunks out. And I think what I'm going to try to do is make table of contents at some point as well. So it's super interesting, all the stuff going on. Last month as well, I also did a talk on the multidisciplinary spectrum, which I think is a perfect segue into the Omni Content. So when I actually make the videos for the Omni Content, I'll have a baseline where I know how to describe it, so to speak. Because I was condensed down to 5 minutes, whereas these Omni Content could be anywhere between 15 to 30 minutes each, and I'm making about 6 of them for the series. So I'm really interested in how that's going to turn out and how to explain the different multidisciplinary people, because multi-potential means something different than polymath, but to me they seem like they're on the same scale. So how do I explain that to people? And so I think it's really interesting to think about, and part of it was too, the interviews last year really kind of kept me from doing the Omni Content. And I think that just now that I have time to do both the interviews and Omni Content and all the other series I'm doing, I've simplified my workflow, and I've gotten better at it a lot as well too, dramatically sped up my video editing time. So what am I doing now? Well, now I'm thinking about kind of stopping the interviews for a while. Like I've done around 84, and so I'm probably going to stop around 100. And probably then I'll start having return guests. So Dale Brachta, my first guest, actually laid claim to 101. So he's going to be the first one coming back for the round 2 Polycast, which I kind of think of this as a rapid fire kind of idea, where it's like round 2, ding ding kind of thing, like a fight club kind of thing, where you're kind of have these rapid fire questions, kind of like these jabs, and then you have like a right hook, not necessarily like in the whole like Gary Vee context, but that's just interesting kind of way of playing on the formula of an interview, especially since the first round interviews are really long. These would be a lot less long. So a lot of my struggles actually from the interviews campaigns were finding quotes. Like if I had 6 quotes for every episode, I'd be fine. I could be like, okay, I'm gonna make a clip out of this one, make an image out of this one, boom. I already had the templates ready, and Repurposed.io, which is an easy tool to use. I just had to go and do it. So what I'm gonna do is I wanted to make a blog post for every interview, and not every polycast in general, because the fireside micro podcasts don't really need it as much. But I might make the top 10 fireside micro podcasts. Here's all the fireside micro podcasts for this season into a post. That might be good. But for the interviews, I thought like transcribing doesn't seem to be good enough. Like that's good for SEO, but it's not really good for you, the reader, who wants to come in and see like what were the takeaways of this episode. So what I'm going to have to do is just hunker down and watch all of them over again, which I plan on doing in a year or so anyways, because I want to go back and relearn the stuff people told me. But I think what I'm going to have to do is do it a little bit sooner than expected, and so I'll watch over them and get my own takeaways and write it out into a blog post. And then I could always add in a transcription in there afterwards to help with SEO. I think that'd be a really good idea. So that way when you come in and read it, you can see the takeaways. I'll have the video and audio link right there. I think that'd be really cool. And in that, hold on. And in that particular way, I can also find quotes. And then I'll finally be able to get all the micro content out there as well. And I think that's kind of just going to show this whole idea of omni-channel just being everywhere. And there's ways to repurpose those quotes and clips. And I'm really excited about that. Let me know if you are watching this. You're probably caring a lot about those interviews as well. I want to post them to IGTV, but I can't decide the length. I was thinking 15 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. I don't want to do full 60 minutes because half the interviews are an hour and a half, so you'd be missing part of it. So if we're going to miss part of it, I thought maybe what we should do is maybe half-half, so part 1, part 2, but I don't know if that'd be a good idea or not either. Other than that, I'm going to also be curating a lot of polymathy-based content, so generalist and multi-potentialite as well, jack of all trades, and sending it out to different socials with my own 2 cents. And I think that'd be really cool. So that way people can see the stuff I've been looking at, but also kind of get my ideas on it. And then beyond that, there's a lot coming up, honestly. Like I've kind of mentioned it over and over again. There's all these interview stuff. There's all these Omni Content posts. I'm going to be doing a Fireside Codex entry every day. The past week or two, I've been kind of lax about the Fireside Codex entries because I've been writing a couple thousand words for a lot of these other posts. Like yesterday, I wrote about 2,400 words on that long-form blog post. So I was like, maybe today I don't need to do a Fireside Codex entry. But my kind of rule was, no matter what you're writing, no matter what it's for, you write a Fireside Codex entry every day. And so I'm going to be doing that regardless. One of the reasons why I chose Ghost is that it's a perfect subscription platform for you to sign up for free too. If you want to sign up for the newsletter and see what emails I send out for different posts, I'm pretty picky about which posts I send out, so that way I don't spam you or anything like that. But you could also do the paid subscription, Poly Pro, and get access to the long form paid posts. But there's also special.tv, which is where I'm going to put all my PolyInnovator videos on, so kind of like a copy of YouTube, but in addition, all the special stuff. So courses or mini series that don't go on PolyInnovator normally, or perhaps just literally special content that I make just for that platform. And so I think that would be really cool for people to come join, and once that's all set up. Beyond that, Omni Content, Now Pages, Fireside Codex, and the interviews. Those are my main focuses, and just saying this out loud helps me too. I wanted to make sure that everyone kind of got an idea of what's going on and what I'm doing now. And so this is my life, and I'm happy to be here, and thanks for watching.